everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for a shout out and some recent pickups. So I want to talk about a YouTuber who's been around for a while and been supportive of this channel in the comments, who recently started his own channel, and then show off a fitting new pickup that's sort of tied to that YouTuber and the team and players that he collects. So I thought that would kind of come together nicely for an episode here today. And the cards that you see in the background there, some nice Connor McDavid cards from my collection, are sort of a foreshadowing of what's to come in that part of the episode. But before we get to that, I wanted to show off a couple of Alex Ovechkin cards. So since I last featured an Ovi for his surpassing of Jaromir Jagr for third place all time in career goals in the NHL, he has lit the lamp twice more. He scored in each of the Caps' next 2 games after that video. So need to show off 2 more Ovechkin cards for that PC here today. Try to stay a little more on top of these. He's honestly looking like he's going to surpass 40 goals now, which is insane. And the pursuit of certainly Gordie Howe and maybe even Wayne Gretzky is real. So let's take a look at a couple Ovies. These are the same parallel, but they're a couple years apart. So the first one here is from the 2016-17 O-Pee-Chee Platinum set. And this is the rainbow color wheel parallel of the Grade 8. I've shown these cards. These actually started in 2016, so this is the first year that these were done in O-Pee-Chee Platinum. But I want to say they were EPAC exclusives between Upper Deck and Com C, but very, very cool cards. Love the rainbow refractor finish here. The concept is the same every year. The design changes slightly. But every year of these features this really nice rainbow refractor effect in the background. This is actually turning out to be a pretty desirable card now in retrospect, especially these earlier rainbow foils, but really, or rainbow color wheel, I should say. But really every year, these are very, very popular cards. The brand new O-Pee-Chee Platinum release just hit EPAC and Com C not long ago. And, even a 2020-21 rainbow color wheel Ovechkin is, a $7 or $8 card right out of the gate. I want to say this one at this point in time that I'm shooting this video here in March of 2022, this is like a $25 card probably, which is kind of crazy, but I love the look of it and happy to have that one in the collection. I would love to aspire to get a complete run of Ovechkin rainbow color wheel parallels for that player collection of his, but for today we have that one, the very first. And then following that, a more recent version of that parallel from the 2019-2020 release. So a little bit different looking design that year, but as I said, the same underlying theme there. These are just incredibly colorful. So if you have a player that you like, especially if you're a fan of a team or collect players that aren't necessarily on the caliber of, Alex Ovechkin or Connor McDavid, you can get these dirt cheap due to the EPAC promotion. I've picked these up from many players that I like for, literal pocket change, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. And then even the superstars, you can find them with some patience for just a few bucks. So highly recommend these. And here is the 2019 version to go with that 2016. So a couple nice Ovies there to celebrate his latest 2 goals that'll be making their way into the Z Folio. And now for the second portion of the video, I wanted to give a shout out to Paul C. You may have seen him here in the comments or on your own channel. He's been very supportive, definitely been around YouTube for a while. He's commented on my videos on occasion, going way back from the early days of the channel. Lives up in Canada, so is predominantly a hockey card collector, but does get into some other sports as well. And recently, Paul has started his own YouTube channel, or finally, launched some videos on his channel as of this past week. I think he's got a couple videos up already as of the timing of this post. Going to do largely hockey. So if you're one of my hockey collecting friends, highly recommend checking the link, which I'll put in the description below. Would love it if we could show Paul some support and get his sub numbers up as he's getting started out here. But he has mentioned that he plans on getting into some other things such as baseball. So even if hockey is not your jam, so to speak, I still would love it if you'd head over there and maybe watch a video or two and give him a sub, show him some of that love that we all feel in this online card community. So Paul actually lives in the Edmonton area. as I mentioned, is a big Oilers fan, and obviously is, I'm sure, enjoying the fact that Edmonton has, arguably the two most talented young players on the planet right now in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And for that reason, I thought, he was a perfect shout out to give in showing off this new pickup that I made. This just came in this last week. Very happy to track this down. But before we get to the pickup, the seller actually threw in 2 bonus cards, which was really, really nice of them. First and foremost, from Upper Deck Series 1, have this honor roll insert of Connor McDavid. Generally speaking, I'm not a really big insert guy, at least for modern sets. I find a lot of them to be uninspired. This one's okay. I probably wouldn't seek this out, on my own and purchase it as a single, but I'm never going to turn away a Connor McDavid card of any sort that is thrown in for free with a purchase. So pretty nice throw in there from the seller. Made sure to thank him in leaving my feedback on eBay. The second throw in is actually really awesome and is absolutely a card that I would have loved to have picked up on my own. Check out this Dazzlers McDavid. This is also from Upper Deck Series 1, I believe. And as a fan of all things shiny, it does not get much better than this. Of course, blue is a team color matching color for the Oilers, and just a stunning looking card. Really, really happy to see this one. They kind of blew me away by tossing this in for free. I love the foil effect in the background there, just a real stunner. So a couple cool throw-in McDavids there. And then the card that spawned today's video that I'm really excited about, it's a parallel that I've talked about many times, and that is Upper Deck Clear Cut. These are acetate parallels of the base flagship Upper Deck set. They've been around beginning in the year 2016. They originated the same year as these rainbow color wheels, when Upper Deck really stepped up their parallel game, in my opinion, in 2016 and forward. They're pretty rare. They fall at just like 3 or 4 per case, and they parallel the entire Upper Deck flagship hockey set, which is, hundreds of cards deep on that checklist. So they're not easy to come by. In my experience, if you don't snatch them up relatively quickly upon the release of a set, they do tend to dry up over time. There really aren't a lot of these out there, even though they're not numbered. The rarity is pretty good. So was able to, from the latest Upper Deck release that just dropped in the past couple of weeks here, was able to bring home the clear cut Connor McDavid card. And obviously, it's very easy with this one to see the acetate effect here. Some of these, depending on the background and what's going on and how dark the background of the card is, it's a little bit easier or tougher to tell that it's an acetate card, but this McDavid is very, very easy to tell. Great card here. As a McDavid collector, I will take any clear-cut McDavid happily. And as I said, these are pretty tough cards, especially for guys of McDavid's ilk. And so wanted to make sure to snatch one of these up, relatively close to release date here, before they sort of dried up in the years to come and become much more expensive probably, or at least harder to track down than they are now. So I didn't get, a super bargain on this, but I did get what I thought was a very, very fair price, especially when I found out about those throw-in cards, made it even better, but was able to pick this one up for about $40 shipped to my door with tax and everything. So not that bad for a card that, falls just a couple per case. Here's a look at the back. You can really tell, that this differs from the base card when you look at the back, because they have to modify the back and obviously just put some vital statistics there on the back of the player where you don't have the acetate coming through. So neat card. I've talked about these many times before. Huge believer in these. I love acetate, especially for a sport that's played on ice. I just think they're very, very fitting parallels and kind of neat cards for any player collection. So I'd love to, at some point complete a run of McDavid and Ovechkin clear-cut parallels, but they get real tricky as time goes by. So I don't know if I'll ever collect them all. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think this might be the first one of McDavid's that I've ever shown here on the channel. Don't quote me on that, but really happy to bring that one home. I think a sneaky good card for, well under $50 for a McDavid PC. So that'll join the others that you see in the background there in my ever-growing collection of the young superstar who looks, poised alongside Leon Draisaitl to be in the hunt for an Art Ross and/or Hart Trophy again this year, as expected heading into the season. So he just continues to produce, and really happy to bring that one home. So that's a wrap for today. Again, please check out Paul C's channel if you have a few minutes. I would really appreciate it. I'm sure he would as well. And to everybody else, I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care.